An innocent 11-year-old girl clinging to life right now in a hospital after being shot on the city's east side. But the shooting is related to other very serious crimes. I'll have details coming up.
A double murder in Colorado Springs and a Detroiter accused of pulling the trigger. Tonight, we talk with that accused killer's brother to find out more about this young man.
I'm meteorologist Rich Luderman. Looks and feels like spring out there today, and it's going to be even milder tomorrow. We'll check that 7-day forecast just ahead.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 5 starts now.
We begin tonight with another unnecessary tragedy. A child is shot in the head during a drive-by on Detroit's east side.
And police say the 11-year-old is in extremely critical condition. Fox News' Charlie Langton joins us live. And Charlie, we understand this is the second time the house has been shot up in as many months.
Yeah, that's right. There was an incident back in December when the house was shot up, but whether or not that's related to this incident that happened early this morning around 4 o'clock remains to be seen. But this gets crazier. Chief White just gave us a briefing literally just moments ago. Let me give you a little update on the 11-year-old from the east side. Amara Flynn, that is her name. She's in critical condition right now at Children's Hospital. Around 4 a.m., she was just sleeping on the couch when there was a drive-by and 23 rounds fired into that house, Pennsylvania Street, that's in the area of I-94 and Gratiot. That is bad enough. But then the chief says that that shooting may have had something to do with an auto theft ring and another homicide that happened Friday. Here's Chief White.
We have tied a couple of the vehicles in that ring to this incident.
A tragic incident just got more complicated. 4 a.m. early Tuesday morning, a light-colored SUV pulling up to this house here on Pennsylvania Street near I-94 in Gratiot, and then opening fire, hitting an 11-year-old girl in the head who was sleeping on the couch.
At least one of those rounds struck little Amara in the head. As I indicated, she's in a local hospital in critical condition.
But later Tuesday afternoon, 4 suspects arrested.
One suspect is 18, one's 19, one is 20, and I believe the 23 is the fourth suspect. We've recovered one weapon and one facsimile firearm.
Chief White believes that the weapon recovered is the one that hit 11-year-old Amara Flynn. But what is crazy is that this shooting is likely tied to an auto theft ring and at least one other homicide.
It's early, but we have tied a couple of the vehicles in that ring to this incident. And another incident. This case has a lot of different layers to it, and we're confident that we're going to be able to close not only this homicide, but this non-fatal shooting, but another homicide with this investigation.
All right, that homicide, we believe, occurred at this last Friday morning. That was at a gas station on Belfour and Mack. There, a 17-year-old was shot and killed, and there is a connection. Now, one other thing, this auto theft ring that the chief was talking about, this could involve upwards of 20 cars, but it could involve more, and the exact connection yet not known. Obviously, this is the chief's making the connection today. And one final thing about the 11-year-old Amara Flynn, she does remain in the hospital, Children's Hospital. She was taken there by people who are in the house. Don't know how many, a little conflicting as to how many people were in that house. We heard early this morning upwards of 20 people were at a house at 4 in the morning. We do know, though, that Amara Flynn was an innocent 11-year-old sleeping and probably just getting ready for school at some point in time. Well, now she is in the hospital clinging on to life, and I understand she was hit in the head. It's not good. Again, a lot of layers, as the chief said. This will be a developing story. I am live outside police headquarters in Detroit. Taryn, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, this was obviously not random, and with 20 people inside the house at the time, Charlie, somebody has to know something.
Well, there's no question about that. Someone does, and that's why the chief and the team and even the auto theft people, they said, wait a minute, we may know some of these people, and then they put 2 and 2 together, and that's why there are 4 suspects in custody. They're also looking for another person and possibly more as well. So this investigation is far from over. If anyone has any information, of course, give the Detroit police a call. But we've got at least 1 murder, 1 non-life-threatening at this point in time, and we have an auto theft ring involving a lot of cars and a bunch of young people. Taryn?
Yeah, first and foremost, though, let's hope that 11-year-old is going to be okay. Charlie, thanks for the update.
Well, a Detroit man is behind bars after a double murder inside a dorm room in Colorado Springs.
And police say the shooting was not random, and now he's facing first-degree murder charges. Fox 2's Scott Wolchek spoke with the suspect's brother.
A double murder in Colorado Springs, a Detroiter accused of pulling the trigger. Police found 26-year-old Celie Rain Montgomery and 24-year-old music student Samuel Knopp dead in a dorm room at the University of Colorado's Colorado Springs campus last Friday. Police arrested 25-year-old Nicholas Jordan, who was Knopp's roommate. Nick Jordan grew up on Detroit's east side and is facing first-degree murder charges.
It's not believable. It's not real. It ain't real.
Brandon Jordan is Nick's older brother. He says Nick is innocent.
Keep looking, because like that, y'all got the wrong guy.
Brandon says his brother always had good grades, loved basketball, and was attending the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs to become an accountant.
Like seeing my little brother Nick, like go to school, it encouraged me to want to like do better.
Brandon says the news that his little brother is accused of homicide is unbelievable. His family has been through a lot. His youngest brother, Christian, was murdered January 4th of 2023, and it's unsolved. Now he may lose his brother, Nick, to a prison sentence. Brandon's message to his little brother.
I love you, bro. Like, I love you, dude. I know you ain't do it, bro.
Nick is awaiting formal charges. The Colorado Springs community has come together in support of Celie and Samuel. Samuel was an accomplished guitar player, and Celie was described by friends as shy, but with a smile that could light up a room. On Detroit's east side, Scott Wolchek, Fox 2 News.
A deadly crash on Detroit's west side, leaving a driver dead. Detroit police say the driver slammed into a pole in the area of 7 Mile and Braille around 10 o'clock this morning. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say nobody else was hurt. Right now, it's not clear what caused the crash.
Some big investment in water projects across the Great Lakes. The EPA is distributing nearly $6 billion for water projects across the country. Included are $1 billion in support of Great Lakes drinking water projects and $177 million specifically for Michigan. The investments will clean up pollution, fix old pipes, and keep drinking water safe. The funding comes from President Biden's infrastructure law. Oh, sunny skies, a lot of smiles out there because you know what? It is February and you don't always expect it this time of the year.
No, you don't expect not to need a coat outside for a little while. And Weather Authority Rich Luderman, it was that nice outside today. I think we hit 50 where I live.
Pretty close to 50 in some spots, Roop and Taryn, but with the sunshine, it felt pretty nice. Just a hint of spring out there today. You can see quiet weather once again this afternoon for Chicago, for Traverse City, for us, down to Columbus, out east for Toronto and Niagara Falls. Check out these numbers, mid-40s for us in Port Huron, 48 still in Lansing, 51 down there in Sturgis, Michigan. How about some live pictures along the Clinton River? This is Mount Clemens, 42 degrees with Old Glory flying. Boy, it looks nice out there. We'll get down to 30, so not quite as cold tonight as what we've seen the last couple nights. It gets even warmer tomorrow. We will likely get some wet weather on Thursday, and there's really only one cold day in the 7-day forecast. That's Saturday. Roop, we'll check that 7-day coming up in 10.
All right, Rich, we'll talk to you then. Thank you. 2 adults are now charged with murder in connection to the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting. The new charges come after 2 juveniles were arrested last week on several charges. A woman was killed and 22 others were hurt in that shooting. Police say the gunfire was sparked by an argument involving several people.
The Biden administration says it will announce new major sanctions against Russia this Friday following the death of Alexei Navalny. The president is blaming it on Vladimir Putin. Biden is also calling on Congress to quickly pass more funding for Ukraine, which is running low on supplies. A growing number of Republican lawmakers say they would support a bill that both funds Ukraine and addresses border security issues. However, so far, House Speaker Mike Johnson remains unwilling to bring a bill up for vote.
Well, the U.S. vetoes a widely supported UN resolution demanding an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza.
Fox's Connor Hansen has more on the reason why and what top officials are proposing instead.
The draft resolution has not been adopted.
For the third time, the U.S. has vetoed a UN resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield says passing it could have derailed complex negotiations several countries have been working on. She's insisting a hostage release should be part of the deal to stop the fighting, and the vetoed proposal would not have accomplished that.
We're eager to continue working with the Council on this proposal, one that would see a temporary ceasefire as soon as practicable, based on the formula of all hostages being released.
This comes as Israeli troops close in on Rafah in southern Gaza, where Hamas fighters have fled along with refugees, and food and water is scarce. The U.S. has tried to convince Israel to avoid a major ground assault there.
No attacks on Rafah should take place given current circumstances.
The Palestinians' UN ambassador said the veto would lead to more fighting, while Israel argued a ceasefire only gives Hamas time to reload.
The message given today to Israel with this veto is that it can continue to get away with murder.
With a ceasefire in place, Hamas will regroup, rearm, and their next attempted genocide against Israelis will only be a question of when, not if.
A White House spokesperson said they will continue to have meetings this week in the Middle East to work on a hostage deal and a temporary ceasefire. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.